And thank you. It's lovely to be here New Year's Eve with the Shanti Deva hosts and all of you from all over the world. And so we are asking Tara to join us, Chittamani Tara and Arya Tara. We call her Noble, the Noble Mother, like that. And she does free us from fear, and this is what she's known for. So we're going to follow that short practice we did in the retreat that we did, I think, in late October this year. And it's just a beautiful way to kind of ask this level, this emanation of the Buddha, and Tara comes to us basically to clear obstacles. So here we are entering a new year, coming into as our calendar counts, the kind of Western calendar, we're entering a new year. And some people really like to engage in some new positive behavior. People make resolutions and things like that. So it's really nice to kind of think of your teacher. If you have a particular teacher or a guru, they are inseparable from the Buddha and they're inseparable from Tara. They're all the same kind of emanation of the omniscient consciousness. But because she's such a, especially the green Tara, like an emerald green goddess, she's really there to clear obstacles. So in moving through a new year and another milestone, like let's call on her as much as you can from your heart to remove obstacles from anything right now that we're directed towards. And the best thing to remove obstacles for is your spiritual practice. So if there's a particular retreat you'd like to do this year, if there's a study program you're thinking about, if it's just getting started with a practice on your cushion and figuring out how to set that up, and looking ahead at, like, I know some people that said, I'm planning in a couple of years to do a Vajrasattva retreat, or I'm planning to get this initiation to do this retreat. So fair enough to look ahead and plan like we plan all the other things. So Tara's the one that really kind of helps move you through those obstacles and helps to clear those obstacles, and especially asking for something loftier than just your sports team winning and something really ordinary. We'd rather keep it into a higher ground. And the real purpose of what we do is, all, as most of you know in this tradition, is we're focused on trying to move ourselves along a path to becoming a Buddha, to having that omniscient consciousness. And the reason is because then we're unlimited in how we can best serve all living beings, how we can best help all living beings. And if you're clear with your own life, at so many times people come to you needing answers, wanting help, friends seek your advice, all kinds of different things, family members, and there's a lot of times you don't know what to tell them, right? But if you're a Buddha, you know exactly the best way to engage, to advise, to do, to say, to think, every moment. So if we could get there, just imagine how we could benefit, how we could help. So let's just take a moment, if you'd like to close your eyes for a moment, and just think about that motivation I was just mentioning. Think about your own motivation for wanting to do this practice right now. And just noting, is it aligned with a Mahayana motivation? Can I align it in that way, wanting to become a Buddha, to benefit all living beings? That's the essence of the Mahayana tradition. And really feeling that in your heart, that is the reason we're here right now to do this practice. And to engage in this short sadhana, Chittamani Tara, to recite the Tara praises, to do our dedication prayers. Think for a moment what you would like to have happen and unfold this next year. Can you think of connecting with Tara tonight and more in your life through various practices, through at least the reciting the 21 praises, to ask her to help remove those obstacles so that you can do and accomplish or be how you want this year, how you want it to go. Just feel that space in your heart right now. So we can make whatever we want to have manifest for us. We can participate in that at least. And when we face obstacles, let's call on our antidotes like this practice, and other ones, purification practices like that. You can do some with Venerable Rubina tomorrow. Fantastic. Okay, and those are the things that's the kind of things we should reach for that help us do that. All the other pujas that the center offers, things like that. Those practices really make a difference. So we try our best. So I'm going to share my screen with this practice. If you can just turn on the sharing. Thank you. Great. Can everybody see this? Great. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong one. I was afraid that was going to happen. Here we go. And just for context, here's a black and white photo of green Tara surrounded by the 21 Taras. And once again, we're going to imagine an emerald green goddess in the nature of green light. So the lighter you keep it, just thinking, every time we have an image of the Buddha, just imagine it in the nature of light. And she's got her, if you can see, her left leg is drawn in. So it shows she's got control over her sexual energy or desire, one of the three poisons. Her right leg is extended out because she's a very active manifestation. So she's ready to jump up and serve all living beings. She manifested from a time, one of the legends is that the Buddha of infinite compassion, Chenrezig, was overwhelmed by the suffering in the world because that's his job. His job is to free people from suffering and help you build that level of mind, the compassion in your heart. And he was overwhelmed and he cried, and she sprang out of one of his tears and said, "I'll help you." So they're related. And she's draped in beautiful silks adorned with many jewels. You can see she's got these beautiful flowers. One of them, she holds a stem in her left hand at her heart, and the other one, she holds a stem by her right knee with the palm out, kind of in a display of granting realizations. So green Tara, and then she's got all these 21 versions of her you can see, and they're different colors. We're going to do some praises like that. And we're going to start with those praises to just give us some energy. So just do the best you can. And the praises tend to go at a bit of a clip. We're going to start first with a little bodhicitta, formal bodhicitta and refuge. I'm going to go down to this one and start here. We're going to recite this refuge and bodhicitta 3 times. So once again, taking that feeling from our heart, why we're doing this, the whole path is really contained in these 4 lines. And so I'm trusting Tara, who is in essence a Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. And from my merit of having this bodhicitta motivation, that's why it says from giving another perfection. So it's referring to the 6 perfections. Part of the method to develop bodhicitta is I want to become a Buddha, but the real purpose is to benefit all sentient beings. So with this in mind, let's recite 3 times. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. And so just calling on all the Taras together. And if you'd like, you can visualize in the space in front is the green Tara, and she's facing you. And she's in the middle of the array of the 21 Taras. Okay. You can imagine them slightly higher than the level of your head. And they all basically look the same, but they are different colors. Some are wrathful because sometimes you need a little bit stronger energy. So when we do these chants, you can read the ones that are a little fiercer, like that. But they all basically are in a similar feet position with the left leg drawn in and the right extended out. So we're going to read this invocation to bring them here with us, to kind of breathe life into the visualization. And just imagine them in the nature of light in that space, like a Tara tree in front of you. From your sublime abode at the Potala, O Tara born from the green letter Tam, your crown adorned with Amitabha, action mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times, Tara, please come with your attendants. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara. You who rescue all who are destitute, to you, Mother Tara, I pay homage. We're going to read this in English. I prostrate to the noble transcendent liberator. Homage, Tara, swift, heroic, eyes like lightning, instantaneous, sprung from opening stamens of the Lord of 3 worlds, tear-born lotus. Homage, she whose face combines 100 autumn moons at fullest, blazing with light rays resplendent as a 1,000-star collection. Homage, golden blue one lotus, water-born and hand adorned, giving effort, calm austerities, patience, meditation, her sphere. Homage, crown of Tathagatas, actions triumph without limit, relied on by conquerors' children, having reached every perfection. Homage, filling with Tutare, Hong desire, direction, and space, trampling with her feet the 7 worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage worshipped by the All-Lord, Chakra, Agni, Brahma, Marut, honored by the host of spirits, corpse raisers, Gandharvas, Yakshas. Homage with her trait and paid sounds, destroying foes' magic diagrams, her feet pressing left out right in, blazing in a raging fire blaze. Homage to Re, very dreadful, destroyer of Mara's champion, she with frowning lotus visage, who is slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart, her fingers adorn her with 3 jewel mudra. Light ray masses all excited, all directions wheels adorn her. Homage, she so joyous, radiant, crown emitting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with Tutare, subjugating Mara's devas. Homage, she able to summon all earth guardians assembly, shaking, frowning with her home sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage, crown adorned with crescent, moon all ornaments most shining, Amitabha in her hair knot, sending out much light eternal. Homage, she mid-wreath ablaze like eon-ending fire abide. Right track lamp and joy surrounds you, troops of enemies destroying. Homage, she who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats it, scaling with the letter Hong, the 7 levels she does conquer. Homage, happy, virtuous, peaceful, she whose field is peace nirvana, she endowed with Om and Soha, destroyer of the great evil. Homage, she with joy surrounded, tearing foes' bodies asunder, frees with Hong and knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage to Re with seed letter, of the shape of syllable Hong. By foot stamping shakes the 3 worlds, Meru, Mandayar, and Vindhya. Homage holding in her hand the hair-marked moon of Deva Lake, for with twice spoken Tara and Pei, totally dispelling poison. Homage she whom gods and their kings and their kinneras do honor, armored in all joyful splendor, she dispels bad dreams and conflicts. Homage she whose two eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon, with twice Hara and Tutare, she dispels severe contagion. Homage full of liberating power by the set of three natures, destroys hosts of spirits, yakshas, and raise corpses supreme. Ture. These praises with the root mantras and prostrations thus are 21. And here is her mantra. We're gonna recite more in a little bit, but should be, oh, I thought it was here. Okay, it must be further up. Some of you know the mantra. We can recite. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 We're going to go back to the practice. So it's also nice to have some involvement, some reflection on the Lam Rim. Okay, so the way Rinpoche set this practice up, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, great, because he loves to include that, even briefly. So let's just read the first refuge line once. I take refuge in the Holy Guru, essence of all Buddhas, original grantor of all holy teachings, and Lord of all supreme beings. Please, Guru Buddhas, bestow on me the ability to unify my mind with the Dharma and be successful in practicing Dharma in order to achieve the graduated path. May no hindrances occur while achieving this path. So these are a system of requests that we often as Westerners, we don't understand that process, that there's requests come in all of the different sadhanas, and sadhana simply means method of accomplishment, meaning it's a method through doing this practice that I will accomplish enlightenment. I will accomplish Buddhahood. And part of that, the requests are important. So they have formal requests like these, okay? But you can also include your own requests if you like, certain things you would like regarding your path unfolding. So again, something loftier, something that really layers itself in a Mahayana motivation of I'm asking for something personally, and it could be health related, job related, big life issue related, so that sets me up on this path to enlightenment so I can benefit all living beings. That's what and that's what all these formal requests also are related to. So let's do this next one. And again, lower capability. So this is taking us through for me to realize these parts of the philosophy of the Lam Rim. So this is the first scope. Please bless me to realize that I've received a perfect human rebirth, which is highly meaningful, for many reasons difficult to obtain, but perishable, transient, and fragile, decaying in the shortest moment because of its changeable nature. Thus my death is definite, but its actual time is most indefinite. And after death, I am far more likely to be reborn in the lower suffering realms, having created infinitely more negative than positive karma in this life and all previous lives. Okay, so let's just take a moment right there. And when you hear to be reborn, it's far more likely to be reborn in the lower suffering realms. What's really helpful is that you have some reflection on this as you recite this in the practices. When you have more time, you're really doing deeper analytical meditation on the Lam Rim. But if you like, just close your eyes for a moment. Whatever understanding you have about the lower realms and the suffering of some of these realms, the animal realm, for instance, this is a realm we can interact with. The Preta realm, the hell realm. Some of you studied about these realms. Okay? We question as Westerners. We're not sure some of these realms really exist. We don't think we're going to be going there. We feel like we have enough positive seeds layered. But you need to take a moment and think about these realms. Just reflect for a moment. Can you imagine you're passing away in this life? You go through an in-between state experience. And suddenly the next rebirth unfolds and it happens to be in one of the lower realms. How's your mind? And you really slowly want to feel this unbearable situation in your heart, in your mind, in your being. I cannot bear that. So let a little bit of the terror arise, but only to motivate you to practice. So when you have more time, you take more time to really go into the meditation, okay, that really starts to move your being. Like you really start to feel it in your cells, in your body. I cannot come back like that. Okay, pour that into your practice. Let it fuel your practice. That's why these meditations are designed. They're designed like that, okay? To get you off your butt to say, I've got to do something and ramp up my practice right now. There's not a lot of time left. And we've got a great situation right now. I know we all have different obstacles. I understand like that. But the fact that you turned up here tonight tells me you've got a precious human rebirth, got a pretty good situation. So let's go on. Please bless me to comprehend how incredibly unendurable is the suffering of the lower realms, that I might take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha with all my heart, and realize the evolution of karma in all its profundity, that I might perform only virtuous actions and abandon all negative creations. So slowly again, when you have more time, when you're really able to do these practices longer, or just meditate on the Lam Rim in your other practices, very, very effective every day to have some reflection. Prayer of the practitioner, middling capability, middle scope of the Lam Rim. By practicing in this way, I will be reborn in the upper realms, but will still have to experience unlimited samsaric suffering because of uncontrolled delusion and karma. Please bless me to realize fully the evolution of samsara, from uncontrolled rebirth to death to rebirth, and to follow day and night the three higher trainings of the path: higher conduct, higher concentration, and higher wisdom, which are the main methods to release me from samsara. So I'd just like you to take a moment, close your eyes again. Think about right now, from uncontrolled rebirth to death to rebirth. Think about your life right now. We've just finished another year in the Western calendar. We've just finished another year. Think about all the years, all of the New Year's Eves you have gone through, you have experienced. And there's probably been some really beautiful moments of your life. What about the other moments of your life? It hasn't all been great. It certainly is not perfect. And you're going to do it again and again and again with all those mistakes you make, all because of delusion and karma. And here it says uncontrolled again. You don't have any control over your mind because we make mistakes, and that leaves another negative imprint that causes me to go around again and again and again. So just think about that process, life after life after life, and another rebirth. And if you think that's pleasant, being born, what about dying? So how many more times do you want to go through it? How many more times until you're exhausted? Till you decide to commit yourself to those three higher trainings: ethical conduct, meditative stabilization, and having a direct perception of emptiness. Perfect time to commit yourself right now, starting tomorrow. What are you planning to change in a most positive way in your life? And let's go on to the highest capable being. Prayer of the practitioner, highest capability, sutra path, and then we'll do the Vajrayana path. But as each sentient being has been my mother, and as most of them are in extreme suffering, please bless me to bring success to all by renouncing the perfect happiness of self and practicing the Bodhisattva's deeds of the six perfections with a Bodhisattva's mind, of exchanging self with others on the basis of the equanimity meditation. Thus shall I have no sorrow in experiencing the samsaric suffering of all other sentient beings, for no matter how long, having trained my mind in the general path. Let's think about the world right now. So we're here, so fortunate to have electricity, to have internet, some device to participate on. You have a well-functioning mind, fantastic. Food, clothing, shelter. What about the rest of the world? What's it like for a lot of other people in the world? Starving, poor, unhoused, suffering under domestic abuse or violence or wars. Just think about all these other beings, countless beings we share the planet with. Countless beings. How can we really let go and get on with our lives without somehow trying to help them? Vajrayana path, if you're practicing Tantra or hoping to in the future, please bless me to follow the quick Vajrayana teachings by feeling sentient beings suffering, very unimaginably unbearable for even the shortest moment as my own, and to achieve the attainment of Shakyamuni Buddha immediately, at this very moment, by keeping my ordinations and the instructions of the Guru with the best and highest care in life for the sole purpose of enlightening all sentient beings. So hopefully when we have a good foundation of the Sutrayana path, we can then progress through proper tantric initiation, proper tantric empowerment, and being able to keep the vows and study them and learn them and keep this motivation in your heart. I have to do this for others. I've got to get started. Whatever way is realistic for you to emerge, to proceed. Okay, we're all going to be doing it differently, but to find something you can step up this year in your practice. Again, for all those living beings. So we have Tara once again in the space in front, and we're going to bring her to your crown. She's over top your crown, this emerald green goddess. And you can put her on this lotus and moon disc. Okay, so you've got an open lotus flower on top of which sits a moon disc lying flat. And the lotus represents renunciation, and the moon disc represents relative bodhicitta. And upon these, she manifests, Aryatara, mother of all enlightened beings. So if you have a particular teacher, you could imagine she is one with them. Could be His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, could be the Buddha himself. Okay. And you imagine that teacher above your crown is in this full lotus position, in a transparent, here it says, bubble of rainbow colored light, pinkish complexion, and wearing saffron robes of a monk and the golden pandit's hat like Lama Tsongkhapa. His right hand is at his heart in the gesture that he's teaching the Dharma, holding a Vajra, that little thunderbolt representing bodhicitta, your method, and holds a stem of a white lotus that blooms beside his right ear. His left hand is on his hip, and it holds a bell representing emptiness, and the stem of another white lotus that blooms by his left ear. So you have this guru over top, and at his heart is Aryatara. This is the emerald green goddess inside his heart. And again, she's seated with the left leg drawn up, control over desire, her right leg outstretched. Left hand is at her heart in a mudra symbolizing the triple gem. Don't worry about the specific mudras like that, but holding the stem of a blue upali flower. And you just visualize as best as you can. The main thing is to think you've got the guru, and at his heart, at his or her heart, emerald green goddess Tara. Her right hand is extended over her right knee in that mudra of granting sublime realizations. And again, she's beautifully adorned, jeweled ornaments, scarves, and at her three places stand three syllables you can see on the right side of the screen. The top one is Om, so imagine a white Om at her forehead. A red Ah, the second syllable down, is at her throat when it says at her three places. The third one down is Hung, H-U-M, and you can visualize a blue Hung at her heart. And additionally, because everything's in the nature of light, at her heart is a lotus and moon seed on which stands a radiant green syllable Tam, and that's the fourth syllable down. So right at the heart level, again, you have another little lotus on top of the moon lying flat, and on top of the moon standing upright is this green, radiant green syllable Tam. That's her seed syllable, so it's an object of concentration. And rays of green light begin to emanate in all directions from that Tam syllable at her heart. Okay, and it pours out of all the pores of her body, okay, to the 10 directions. And it invokes all this enlightened energy, hooking back all this enlightened energy of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And they're all absorbed into Aryatara at the heart of the guru over top your crown. And we make this one-line request: please remain above my head until I receive enlightenment. And then we've recited the refuge and bodhicitta. We'll go to the 7-limb prayer. With my body, speech, and mind, I devoutly prostrate. I offer all offerings, both real and imagined. All sins and offenses amassed from beginningless time, I confess. I rejoice in all virtuous actions of holy and ordinary beings. O Gurus and Buddhas, please remain until samsara ends and turn the wheel of the Dharma for sentient beings. All my virtues and those of all others I dedicate to the great enlightenment. Offering mandala. So imagining radiant world system that we offer to these, to Tara, to the Guru, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all are one, so that we can receive additional blessings in this practice. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of my attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, and strangers, and my body, wealth, and enjoyments, without any sense of loss, I offer this collection. Please accept it with pleasure and bless me with freedom from the 3 poisons. Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kam Niratayami. So we're going to read the requests and then I'll tell you what you visualize with each one. So we are purifying body, speech, and mind in that order. And then the subtle obscurations to omniscience. So again, thinking about the Guru over top with the Tara, and light rays are going to come from that emanation. So first, let's recite the request. Please bless me to purify all obscurations, non-virtues, of my body, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. Please visualize that from the Tara at the heart of your Guru over top your crown, from that white Om at her forehead, okay, white light emanates from that Om. So that's at her brow, the forehead, curves in an arc, entering your brow. And just feel, as you visualize this, my body is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. Just visualize as best as you can, placing that feeling in your heart. The next request, to purify speech. Please bless me to purify all obscurations of my speech, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. And now visualize from the Ah syllable at Arya Tara's throat, over top your crown, red light rays emanate, curving around from her throat, from that Ah syllable, in an arc entering your throat. And think, my speech is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. Purifying the mind, 3rd request. Please bless me to purify all obscurations of my mind, so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. And imagine blue light now emanates from the Hung syllable at Arya Tara's heart, over top your crown, curves around in an arc, entering my heart. And think, my mind is purified of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. The 4th request, to purify subtle obscurations to omniscience. Please bless me to purify all delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience, so that my body, speech, and mind will become one with Guru Tara's holy body, speech, and mind. So visualize now 3 colored beams, the white, red, and blue, from the Oma and Hong syllables at her forehead, throat, and heart, curving in an arc, entering your 3 places, your forehead, your throat, and your heart, completely purifying all delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience. And just think, my body, speech, and mind become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind. So just experience that for a moment, those 3 light rays visualizations. And imagine now the Guru dissolves into Aryatara, who's at his heart, melting into green light, and that green light above your crown flows into you. And imagine instantly your wrong conception that I and all other phenomena are self-existent. So together with your dualistic mind and its views, disappear, becoming completely empty. Not even a trace of them remains. So any understanding you have of emptiness, we're just dissolving that ordinary appearance, dissolving the Guru into Tara, melting into green light. Just imagine as if your body's just disintegrated. Body, mind, no inherent nature there at all. As best as you can, concentrate one pointedly, any understanding you have of emptiness. And with this wisdom that is indistinguishably one with Guru Tara's blissful, omniscient mind. There's no inherent nature there at all, no inherently existent sense of yourself. No I there. And from that emptiness, from that wisdom, okay, so when we're really practicing, and especially when you get to Tantra, some of you are already practicing Tantra, okay? You can't forget that step. And the sadhanas start with that, Om Sabhava Shuddha Saradama Sabhava Shuddhoham, to remind you everything is empty. Everything is empty. You can't really practice Tantra without some understanding of that. You can't just arise in a certain way or visualize a certain world system if it's coming from dualistic view. So we over and over soak our mind in this. So out of that emptiness, from that wisdom, manifests instantly as Arya Tara's holy body, again, seated on the lotus and moon cushion. So you want to visualize, if you haven't had a highest yoga tantra empowerment, you visualize this over top your crown. And at her heart is another lotus and moon, and on that is her seed syllable, that green letter Tam. Okay, and surrounded, that moon disk, surrounding that Tam in the clockwise direction, are the syllables of her mantra, Om Tare, Tutare, Ture, Soha. So that's standing clockwise, like a strand of emeralds. But as best as you can, try to visualize that over top your crown. So now it's just Tara, with the lotus and moon at her heart, Tam syllable in the middle, radiant, and her mantra garland around the edge of the moon disk. The Tam and the mantra are manifestations of Guru Tara's holy mind. And you can just feel, imagine as if your mind is totally united with that. Green light rays radiate from all the letters, spreading in all directions, and it purifies all negative karma, gross delusions, subtle obscurations to omniscience of all sentient beings. So imagine these light rays come out of all of her pores, touching all sentient beings, okay, and they all become Tara because they're completely purified. So even though we know all beings are not like that, still, incredible thought to have, incredible thought to have. And then again, light rays radiate from her heart, filling her whole body and exploding out of all the pores of her body, and now making offerings in the 10 directions to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And they all become Tara. And then these enlightened beings, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're extremely pleased with the practice. And they shower down, we hook back all these incredible qualities from their enlightenment to inside to Buddha's Tara's holy body, speech, and mind. So imagine all this coming back into the visualization from the holy beings, all this omniscient wisdom, supreme power, infinite compassion, in this form of great shower of light rays. And so we'll recite the mantra. I want to talk a little bit about the mantra first. At her heart. So this is nice because this has a little commentary, and we've mentioned this before in the retreat. So I just want to go the explanation of the mantra. So again, Tara is she who liberates, releases from the different fears, and again, she can prevent hindrances, helps generate quickly the steps of the path to enlightenment. And so you can read more about this in this practice as well. I think you can download it from the FPMT shop. And again, she wished to receive enlightenment in a female body to benefit living beings. Okay, and we're the objects whom she helps. She releases us. This is the purpose and function of Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha. So again, here's an explanation that Om is usually the starter of mantras. Soha or Hong are usually the mantras end, like Amen. Okay, but signifying the path. And most of these mantras are related to method and wisdom, bodhicitta and emptiness. Okay. So Om here signifies Tara's holy body, speech, and mind. And the Tare Tu Tare Tuha contains the essence of the Four Noble Truths. So Tare signifies release from samsara. This is her function. Okay. Tutare signifies dispelling fears. This is her whole purpose. She is the liberator from all fears. They always say the female one, here it says, who cuts off or dispels the 8 fears or dangers, stopping each inner fear, which is related to an outer danger. So here are the 8 fears. So they'll have an elephant as the outer danger. Now, we don't see a lot of elephants, but we have ignorance, and that's what that represents. So she eliminates that. Fires, certainly, we are subject to, especially if you live in California and other dry places. Okay, fire represents on an inner level, she dispels hatred. Fear of water, which is a great fear these days of drownings and floods and things like that, and hurricanes and the waters that causes, okay, represents attachment on an inner level. A lion on an external level represents pride on an inner level, the danger of pride. A snake, she eliminates that, which is really the danger of jealousy. A thief is about holding wrong views, which is related to ignorance, but it can also relate to if you think you're going to live forever in this body, that's holding a wrong view. Buddhism would say that's incorrect. Hungry ghosts, so she liberates us from that realm. A lower realm is about doubt on an inner level, which is one of the 6 root delusions. And then a danger of chains, she liberates you from that, and that is about miserliness. So Tara saves us from all these 8 dangers of the undisturbed, which is really about the the disturbed and unsubdued mind and its karmic actions. She's the female one who releases from the 8 fears. The release shows the true path of cessation. The true path, both Theravadan and Mahayana. So Tara releases us from the cause of suffering, the 8 fears of the disturbed and unsubdued mind, and its action of karma. Ture signifies releasing from disease, and talks about the 84,000 different diseases that they say. And she gradually brings sentient beings to Buddhahood by showing the path. Tara liberates us and all sentient beings from the fears of samsara, bringing us to the blissful state of peace for oneself, and then further liberating us from the bondage of the blissful state of peace to bring us to ultimate enlightenment, because nirvana is not enlightenment in our tradition. So again, she is a special deity, a manifestation of all the Buddha's holy actions of body, speech, and mind. So therefore, she's called Mother. And depending on Tara, one receives enlightenment, as all those in the path who've depended on her have received enlightenment. Like that. She's the mother from whom all the Buddhas of the 3 times have been born, from whom we receive enlightenment. In this way, we shall all be born from Mother Tara. So again, why is she called Mother? She's the essence of the holy minds of all the Buddhas, and so forth. Okay, so we're going to go back reciting her mantra. And so once again, you've got the visualization. Normally, and this is the visualization they say, is that the energy is leaving the Tara over your heart, those radiant beams of green light, and they go out to all sentient beings. And it says, bearing manifold offerings to the 6 transcendental senses of all the Buddhas and sentient beings who all become Tara, and then all those light rays come pouring back in, energizing her and absorbing like that as you recite these mantras. And then you can also recite at the same, visualize at the same time, okay? That first you've got it coming out of her heart, and then all that light rays are coming down, descending through your crown. Beautiful cascading rainbow of emerald green light coming through your crown. And again, it's granting you all those blessings and realizations of her holy mind, clearing all obstacles from anything you would certainly like to achieve on your path to enlightenment, to benefit all. Okay, so let's recite some of her mantra and just do the best you can with the visualization. We'll start with some chanting together, and then we'll do some on our own. You can go at any pace that you like that. Om Tare Ture Soha. 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 Om Tare Ture Om Dare Du Dare Du Re Soha. So just feel that Aryatara over top your crown. She slowly dissolves from the edges of the visualization into the center. So along with the lotus and moon disk on which she sits, and along with the lotus and moon disk tiny at her heart, with the Tam syllable and the mantra garland, all dissolve into the center of the visualization, into an emerald green drop of light. And imagine that drop melt into your crown. Feel all the blessings of her holy body, speech, and mind. Feel the oneness. You, the Guru, Tara, Buddha, all are one. You're never separate. Dedication. May I quickly become Guru Aryatara Padma and lead each and every sentient being into her enlightened state because of these merits. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow. May that which has arisen not diminish but increase more and more. I'd like to dedicate as well to all the beings around the planet who need additional healing. May they receive it completely, immediately. For all the wars to be stopped all over the planet for good, for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and for Lama Zopa Rinpoche to return to us as soon as possible, the most appropriate rebirth, and for the flourishing of all of our centers, especially Shanti Deva Center and all of our centers, to have no obstacles to benefiting countless living beings. And I'm going to share some of our dedication prayers, just some general dedication prayers. Lama Sangye Drugyorne Drowa Chikyang Malupa Dei Sala Guparshog Jiangchu Sencho Rinpoche Ma ke pa nyam ke gyurchik ke wa nyam pa me pa yong gone du pel war sho. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra too realize things as they are, I too dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by the victorious ones thus gone of the 3 times so I might perform good works. I dedicate whatever virtues I've ever collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of perfect pure Losang Drakpa to shine forever. And there's one more dedication I want to do here. We'll start with this one, a couple more. Due to the merits accumulated over the 3 times by myself and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So let's reflect on emptiness, which are empty from their own side. May I, who is empty from its own side, achieve the state of enlightenment, which is empty from its own side, and lead all sentient beings who are empty from their own side to that state as quickly as possible by myself alone. Because of all the merits of the 3 times created by me and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and other sentient beings, may there be no wars, famine, disease, quarreling, fighting, or unhappy minds. May there be great prosperity, and may everything needed be easily obtained. May all the human beings in the world be guided by spiritual leaders, teaching only Dharma, and may everyone enjoy the happiness of Dharma. And we're going to conclude with Lama Zopa Rinpoche's prayer, swift return prayer. It's not that one. Let's see. We'll read the first one by His Holiness. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, victorious Losang Father and sons along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings, through explanation and practice you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable Venerable Guru, to you I make requests. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings you suddenly departed to peace, what a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the 3 jewels, and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. So that concludes our evening practice and afternoon practice, whatever time you're in. I want to thank you all so much for joining. It's lovely to see all of you, so many friends. And I wish you a very happy, healthy New Year.